Welcome back to the Making the Madness YouTube channel. Sean back again with another video, this time discussing Memphis adding their first transfer of the offseason. This one is Elijah McCadden coming in from Georgia Southern, the sixth man of the year in the Sun Belt. 11.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and some pretty reliable defense. Should play a pretty solid bench role for the Memphis Tigers this season. They're a team that goes after the transfer portal pretty hard, so it's not surprising to see them add one here. And they'll probably add more as the offseason unfolds, and that's almost something I'm certain of. Based on how the current roster looks, you look at some of the guys they could lose and that they have lost already. Landers Nolley, who was a pretty solid contributor over the last 2 years, their leading scorer in 2020-2021, has entered the transfer portal. He's gone. Then you lose some other pieces like Jalen Duren. You could lose Joshua Minot, who's testing the draft waters. Amani Bates, he could come back. He can't enter the NBA draft, but he could go to the G League Ignite or an overseas team potentially. You look at some of the other potential losses. Lester Quinones is testing the NBA draft waters. DeAndre Williams, he's going to be 26 years old next year. He still has a couple years of eligibility left, but does he just want to get his pro career started? That's something we'll have to see, because if you lose DeAndre Williams, that's a huge loss because he's your best player. He does everything for this team. He's their leader. You can run the offense through him. He's a great defender. He does everything for this team. So if you get him back, that kind of changes what this team is. But we don't know if he's going to end up coming back or not. So that'll be something to watch. And then Alex Lomax, he went through senior day. He was the only Memphis Tiger to go through senior day. So that might give an indication that he's not coming back. So that's your starting point guard potentially gone. But I would expect to see Memphis maybe add a point guard. You look at some of the available point guards. There's some good ones. Kendrick Davis headlining the group. Nigel Pack is right up there. Those are the top two guards. Nigel Pack is more of a combo, but he could play the one if you need him to. And Kendrick Davis is a great true point guard that would be a great add for any team. But when you're looking at it, you're going to need some guys to take a jump. You can't do everything from the transfer portal. You're going to need Jonathan Lawson, who redshirted this year, former top 100 recruit, to make a step up. You're going to need Chandler Lawson, who's going to be a senior this year, transfer from Oregon. Didn't play a whole lot, but has like a 7'2" wingspan, even though he's 6'7". You can play him at a small ball 5 if you want to. You can play him at the 4. Probably, I think he could fit very well at a small ball 5, especially if DeAndre Williams leaves. So I think Chandler Lawson's a guy that could take a step up. But you enroll 0 recruits in the 2022 class. So you have to attack the transfer portal and add some very solid pieces if Memphis is going to be in the NCAA tournament this season. They made it last year, but there's no Jalen Duren coming in. Probably no Amani Bates type of player coming in. So you're going to have to add guys from the portal, probably more experienced guys, like a Kendrick Davis, like a Nigel Pack. There's a lot of other good pieces. There's a lot of big men out there, like Janai Broome from Morehead State, KJ Williams from Murray State, Fardaz Amack from Utah Valley. There's so many big men out there. Kenneth Lofton Jr. from Louisiana Tech. So maybe you add one of those guys if DeAndre Williams decides to go pro. But I think Memphis is a team that could really change their outcome based on the portal, like I kind of mentioned. They're probably a top 45 team right now, top 50, but they could be a top 25 team if they just add a few good transfers. How I counted, I think it's 8 scholarship players on the roster right now, so you're adding potentially 5 more. There's a lot of work that could be done there, so I think Memphis got their transfer class started off right. A good guy that'll be probably a solid glue guy off the bench, not expecting a ton, but he should be a reliable player for the Tigers this season. But that goes to show why last year making the NCAA tournament like they did was so important, because they looked like a team that wasn't going to make the tournament for a while there. They were a top 15 team in the preseason. They struggled mightily. Lost to Georgia, lost to a really good Murray State team, but that Georgia loss was really puzzling. But they were able to figure things out, make the tournament, almost beat top seed Gonzaga. So that goes a long way for positive momentum heading into this season if you're Penny Hardaway and the Memphis Tigers, because you really needed an NCAA tournament bid last year. But one name I would watch out for on this current team that's testing the waters, but I still think there's a lot of star potential there, is Lester Quinones. Great defender. He can handle the ball a little bit, but he's mostly been a spot-up shooter. I still think there's a little more offensive potential in his game, and I think he could be a 14-point-per-game guy or so this season if he does return to school. And I think he could end up being Memphis' leading scorer. So that'll be something to watch this year if you're a Tigers fan. Just keep an eye on Lester Quinones. I still think there's a little more potential there. But like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, have a good one.